I got the Down Smash special memorized. Check this out. So there's a specialty bowl at a restaurant tournament called the Down Smash Special. It's a rice bowl with tater tots, with nacho cheese, with marinated beef, chicken, and a friend tempura shrimp that also comes with a free refillable drink for like $10. That, and it's right next to my school, which is rad. It just has, in my opinion, individuality that separates it from other college locals.
Welcome everybody again to In the Lab Season 3 Episode 2, or whenever you're watching this, whatever episode number it is. I don't know. I'm going to get to it when I get to it. Welcome to another episode. This episode, I have the fabulous Chickncup Derek here joining me today. If y'all don't know who Chickncup is, you will tonight, and you will in this episode. He is an amazing person in the community. He's done so much in regards to tournaments, in regards to the community, and in regards to so much more. Derek, how are you doing today? Thank you for joining me on the show.
Hey, what's up? I'm Derek. I also go by Chickncup, and I would like to say I'm still in the IE Smash community, but not really more because my time at the moment is up. So I'm not living in the IE right now, but I would like to think I made a big impact before leaving, and like going back home after college.
I mean, I definitely think so too. Honestly, I remember you collaborating so much back then with, the likes of Rabbit, with the likes of the IE, with Smash Forge and Genkiaki as well before Yan had taken stuff over, and definitely on so much more things that even if you had left the community, once you've done something in the community with us, be it as like a competitor or as a TO or to whatever extent, you're forever a part of the IE. Doesn't matter where you're from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely understand that. But how are you doing today? Because I just kind of been doing a lot of stuff in SoCal recently with talking to a lot of other competitors and tournament organizers,
Mhm.
and doing my own thing. But how are you doing too?
Yeah, no, I'm doing good. Nowadays it's been really fun. Been making sure we're staying safe out here, especially with the Olimar Marion variant out here. Make sure
All of our variant. Let's
you got
go.
you got to take care of ourselves. You already know how it be. So I'm doing my part, taking care of myself, my family, my loved ones, all of them, as well as keeping the grind up. With this podcast as well as tournaments once they come back once everything else is safe, but overall, I've been doing good. It's the year of grind Listo, right? You already know what it be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 2022
so,
is our year.
so for people who might not know who you are, especially since there's a lot of new people in the community nowadays, since coming back from COVID for a good amount of time within 2021, what part of the IE were you from when you originally were here?
Originally from here, it was 4 years ago. I was from Riverside, a part of the IE, because I got accepted to go to the University of California, Riverside, or
Mhm.
UCR. And fun fact, actually, I denied going to UCI to make out my name and make out my esports and Smash community thing at UCR because I kind of knew that it was less developed at UCR, but mainly because I really
Mhm.
thought that the people in the IE are a lot cooler than OC. Just in
No,
my opinion,
definitely.
No shade thrown.
No, definitely, especially with UCR and its history. Can you talk a little more about like the history of Riverside and Smash? Because I know you are aware of some of the history in terms of Smash itself and Riverside, about some names that came from there, right?
Oh man. So the original reason why I kind of liked the IE and I kind of knew about the IE beforehand was
Mhm.
because some very famous melee people came from there. So originally, S2J actually comes from the IE and did a lot of stuff at UCR for Smash Bros. Because he
Mhm.
used to go to our tournaments and stuff during the while the Tempo Stormhouse was here with
Yeah.
him and Vro, but Vro is like not here anymore,
Mhm.
as well as Fiction, the top Falco player that I think got top 24 or top 16 or something super crazy like that in Smash World Tour. He's
Mhm.
actually an alumni from UCR in
That's
computer science,
crazy.
making
Yeah.
games and stuff. And then Evo grand finalist back in 2013, Fly Amanita, I think, was he was actually a math professor at UC Riverside.
Man, that's so wild. I know I watched Valley Media before.
Yeah, so Fly Amanita is from UC Riverside, as well as a lot of hidden bosses that stuck out their name. Back when Franz was in middle school slash high school, he would always go over to UC Riverside tournaments. But now, years later, he still goes to our tournaments, and he's a senior in high school now, which is insane. So a lot of really
What?
cool, so a lot of really cool growth here, and a lot of hidden stories are here. A lot of people like to romanticize UCI and a lot of these other better SoCal places, but the IE has always been really sleeper in everything. But whenever somebody that doesn't know anything about the community says that they lost to somebody in IE, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, they're so free, right? But if
Hmm.
you actually take the time to go in and see all the smaller things that we have to offer, that's what
Hmm.
I really enjoyed seeing, and that's what UCR and IE Smash Ultimate and
Hmm.
Melee is all about, and that's why I chose it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And knowing that you went to Riverside for that reason, all that history, all that lore behind it, I knowing from going from fiction or Fly on Amita to like even France now, how young he is and how much he's accomplished already is crazy. Now, what about your specific career in Riverside? Because I know, like you said, you attended Riverside, but you also were a part of, if I remember correctly, Highlander Gaming, and then you done events at Highlander Con and such. Can you kind of like elaborate more about that and what you did at Riverside?
So at UC Riverside, I really didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I really like games, I really like Smash, but I really didn't have a direction to go into because, of course, esports is probably one of the hardest things to get into because nobody really knows what esports is.
Hmm.
A lot of the roadmaps that people have are this is how to be a doctor in 6 years. This is how to be a pharmacist. This is how to be a lawyer because those are very old things to get into. In esports, it's not a sports team, so you know automatically for sports team you have to have a lot of money to get into, to brand, to buy things. But for
Hmm.
esports it's a lot more, okay, if you're good or if you know somebody that's good at organizing good players together, you could make it, right?
Hmm.
And Highlander Gaming really showed that with my senior Alan, or like Alan Wang. He works for MSI right now, and he's been like a really big proponent for me to be who I am today, actually.
Hmm.
So my motto is be the senior that you wish you've had. So, for example, for me, I wish I had somebody that would drive me out to tournaments. I wish I had somebody to show me all about different esports avenues for my career path. And especially, I just wanted somebody to be there to give me tips through the college and social life because a lot of the times moving from high school to colleges or just out of school to anywhere else, you
Hmm.
don't really, you would think like, oh yeah, I'm not going to fall into that trope that, oh, I'm a stupid high schooler, but like going out to college, you know everything. You actually really don't. This is the first time you would actually have to look at yourself in the mirror and really think like, are these friends really worth it? Are you really worth it? Like, what are
Yeah.
you doing? So that's something that I really like learning as a part
Hmm.
of HLG for this one specific senior, you know?
Hmm. Yeah. No, definitely. Looking at back at like your career within Highlander Gaming, it seems like you learned so much from different amount of people and the amount of seniors you had. And I like that advice you said about when it said be the senior you wish you had. That's such great advice for anybody who may be on the come up that didn't necessarily have that mentor or mentorship that other people may fortunately have for themselves, especially going through college or whatever avenue they're going through. So that's definitely such great advice and perspective to offer to somebody. Knowing that, thinking it back to Smash Four, you had your start in Smash Four, right? Or was it? Did you start earlier in this?
I started really early in back when the Smash doc came out, I think in 2012 or 2013, I was in the Melee community, but
Mhm.
when Smash 4 kind of dropped, I just really wanted to get into the game and I played, but the thing was, it was very difficult for me to get my start in Orange County
Mhm.
because I
Mhm.
wasn't good. I really didn't know what to talk about and I really didn't know how to do things. So I was a super huge Wi-Fi warrior that,
Mm-hmm.
I did things with Pit and Smash 4, but it wasn't really anything that I was really proud of.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, UCR and Highlander Gaming actually saved my Smash career.
Really?
The when Bayonetta dropped, my last time playing Smash 4, senior year of high school, I was going to say, okay, I'm going to do the best at this tournament that I am going to with Pit. And of course, Pit in that game was really bad, but it was made even worse with the introduction of Cloud, Bayonetta, and even Corrin, because Corrin was just a better version of him.
Mm-hmm.
That I said, this is going to be my very last tournament. If I do get top 8, I'll consider, still going. I'll still consider going to more tournaments. But if not, I'm just like done, over. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's that's it.
You're
You
done.
know.
Yeah.
And so, I go in, I go 2-2. I'm just like, okay, I didn't do good enough. I hate the game because I actually lost to Bayonetta a Rosalina that counterpicked me Bayonetta, as well as a Link that counterpicked me as Cloud. So I'm just like, these are the matchups that I, super hated. So
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't think I was good enough. And since nobody, again, was the senior that I hope I wanted, or even like a mentor at all, because I was still trying to ask Kiraflax for help and he really didn't help me out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just up and left, and then
Mm.
Highlander Con 2017 comes around. I'm a freshman in college, and there's this. I can't wait to say this. There's this big old dude that comes up to me and says, "Hey man, I think I know you. What you doing here?" And I'm just like, "Wait, who are you?" And I'm just like, I know that Pit. My name is PEMDOS." And then
PEMDAS?
PEMDOS remembered me because I made him extremely mad when I beat him in a Wi-Fi tournament in our own crew, because you know how big like the crew battles are on the Wi-Fi scene, right? Like the Wi-Fi
Mm-hmm.
crews.
Yeah.
It was getting up there in Smash 4. There were a lot of Wi-Fi crews that I was a part of because nobody really wanted to play with me offline.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I kind of started to make my name. And unbeknownst to me, PEMDOS was there. And PEMDOS only recognized me because he's the only Pit that anybody's ever seen, even in Smash 4. I'm usually everybody's introduction to Pit. And even back
Mm-hmm.
then, for Highlander Con 2017, I think I got top 16 and I lost to Scizor Game 3 and Cats Game 3 back then,
Whoa, dang.
which
So
is
back, yeah.
which was like really huge because not a lot of people knew who I was. Nobody actually knew who I was, actually. The only person that was able to pluck me was PEMDOS. And he
Mm-hmm.
told me, "Hey, you're actually a really good player. You should come over and you should play." And that's where I started getting ingrained more into the like my local college Smash community to get out of my shell, like,
Mm-hmm.
starting small to get bigger, and
Yeah.
then eventually reached out towards the IE when Smash Ultimate started coming out, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody from Smash 4 didn't want to make the change.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely, and I know that change was definitely hard for some people within Smash 4 to Smash Ultimate. As you can tell, the community is drastically different. There are some people who stayed consistent amongst the change, like yourself, like me, like so like Caesar, so many other people who stayed consistent within the change, but others who were just left behind that didn't really uh, come over, as they say. Since you got your start within Smash, within obviously, like you said before, when you're younger and going to Smash 4, I know that you had like a natural progression to going from a competitor to a tournament organizer. Can you kind of elaborate more about like your experiences as a tournament organizer and that kind of natural progression you went from being a competitor to like organizing actual events for the community?
Oh, it wasn't a natural progression at all. It was, oh, hey, I think I'm interested in running melee tournaments because back then, when I
Hmm.
was a freshman slash sophomore, there were very prominent melee people back then, like Firepuff 12, even though a lot of people like to dog on him for his name that invented the Nair Rest.
Hmm.
Especially, he even has his own skit on Beyond the Summit based off of him, right? His own
Hmm.
joke.
Hmm.
And there were seniors that I really respected, and it was kind of like me starting to think like I need a senior. I would like to learn something from somebody. And behold, pops in this dude named Fast Boy. And Fast Boy back then was, well, he is still very known in the SoCal community as probably the greatest O2er ever, because he could get a 0 to death off of S2J and then SD off of everything else, basically.
And this is melee, right?
This is melee in particular.
Okay,
So
melee.
originally I was a melee TO, and uh here's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Highlander Con 2018, I would say, is coming around, and I wanted to learn from the best. I wanted to be somebody to learn like a sponge, all right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Fast Boy was, there trying to help me out. He drove me to Power 9 and other melee tournaments and really showed me the scene outside of Orange County and outside of IE also.
Mm-hmm.
And so this day comes around, Highlander Con 2018. A week beforehand, he says, "Hey, I'm not attending UCR anymore because of, stuff. And I respect that." And so curious, I was like, "Okay, hey, good luck. I hope you get it all figured out. What about Highlander Con 2018? Are you still running it?" And he says, "Yeah, I'll be there to help out and to watch and shit like that." And I'm just like, "Okay, cool." HighlanderCon 2018 comes around. Fast Boy is nowhere to be found. And then he said, "Sorry, I can't make it," in my DMs. I'm just like,
Oh my
what do
god.
I do? And he said, "Hey, don't worry. I told the people that run Highlander Con that you're in charge of it." I'm just like, "What do you mean? That makes it worse on me." So Highlander Con 2018, this is the first time there was a large regional in the Inland Empire. This is actually like the biggest Smash Ultimate tournament
I
there
remember
was.
that. I remember that.
Okay. And I didn't know anything. This is my very first tournament, and I think I hit 275 plus people going to this tournament alone for Smash Bros. Ultimate. For Smash Bros. Melee, I had everything under control just because there were veteran top players there that knew how to run Melee a lot better. So I asked them, I begged them for help, and they're just like, "Okay, I guess we'll help you out." And then they ran the whole tournament. I gave them the payout. Everything was cool. Smash Ultimate, I was not expecting anything. I based off my perception of what a TO is. It's we take signups at the door until like 10 minutes before, or like right when the tournament starts, we stop. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a local. I wasn't sure on how to do it with a large group of people. So
Yeah.
I ran everything like a large local. One pool, like basically two pools, one at 2 o'clock, one at 4 o'clock. And then it transitioned to top 8 that's supposed to start at 8 o'clock. Again, 2 hours with 120, 126 man pools, kind of bad. So the worst part about it is, guess how many consoles there were and how many setups?
Bro,
Full setups, we only had 5 full setups,
oh
and
my
one
god.
of those setups, oh no, and we had a 6th setup that was a that was a switch undocked with the this was before Panda Global had their
Oh, is it with with
USB
the
USB
USB-C?
to, yeah, before they went from USB to GameCube controller, they had to mod their Switch and have a very boofed version of it that also had input lag
Oh my god.
that I played, and I was like, "Okay, we're running this tournament. Hopefully everything's good. Can I have these people play their best of 3?" And the worst part about it is just the first rounds were just 2 really new players playing, not knowing how to play the game, and it basically taking 16 minutes. Worst part
How?
about so it we have to go up and explain strikes and bans.
Oh,
We have
okay.
to go up and explain like characters, and they
Mhm.
would have to go in and make their controls. They have to test it out,
Mhm.
and then they have to go.
Oh,
That's
okay,
why
that makes
Melee was
sense.
able to go a lot faster because everybody's like a veteran and kind of knows
Yeah.
what to do.
Exactly.
Fun fact, actually, this is where I first met my best friends basically in the community. This is where I first met Toski and where I first met Arkister.
Oh my god.
Arkister came up to me and he said, "Hey, what are you doing for seating? What are you doing for bracketing? What are you doing for X, Y, and Z?" And I'm just like, "What does this all mean?" And he's just like, "Are you new to this or something?" I'm just like, "Yes, this is my first tournament." With like the stupidest smile.
You're like,
I was like, "Yeah."
you're like, yes, and he was like,
Yes.
okay.
Okay. And then he says, "Give me your laptop." I'm just like, "Here you go."
Yeah.
I give him my laptop. This is a MacBook Air. I still have it to me to this day. And the problem with this specific MacBook Air product is that it takes a lot of GPU actually to run Smash.gg.
Mhm.
So I give it to him. He gives it back to me. I try pressing save. It wouldn't save. So then I thought, you know what? I think this is saved on the cloud. I'm gonna refresh it. It doesn't refresh. It doesn't save the bracketing at
Oh
all. Out of
no.
Sam like doing the top 64 seating in like 20 minutes, like super super fast. I'm just like, hey, I messed it up. Can you do it again? He's like, no.
Oh my gosh.
the next person
No.
the next person that comes up to me that like again would be soon my best friend is Toski, who is also featured on in the lab in season 1.
Go watch that episode.
And yeah, go watch it. And Toski basically came up to me and said, "This tournament is pretty bad. Can I have my money back?" And I had like the look of like disdain on my face, like, I'm so sorry. Like, this is
Oh
my first turn. I'm so
no.
bad. And he's like, "I don't care. Can I have my money back?" And I was like, "Okay." I give him his money back, and he's like, "Thank you." And then he just walked away. Everybody has a Toski story for like their first time meeting him. If you become his friend, he is accidentally very toxic to everybody's first encounters. I would like to have a discussion with this in like either my stream or Dan Listo's stream. But everybody has a Toski story, such as him taunting on you in tournament, him like being like, "Oh my gosh, you I'm surprised you made it even to me in tournament," type of deal. And it's like he's not being BM on purpose, but that's
Like
just how he is.
intentional. It's just how he is.
Yeah,
That's
that.
hilarious.
Yeah, that's how he is. So
The
I
fact
give
that
him his
the fact that when you give him his money back and he was like, I don't care. Like, thanks. Like that.
yeah.
Just like
I don't
not
care.
even like
Straight face. I don't care.
yeah.
Thanks.
It's not
Goes.
even like, are you good? Like, you need help? And he's like, I don't care if you're bad. Like, just I just want my money back. And like, and you're just like, okay.
Yeah, I was actually really liking everybody asking for their money back. Because they're just like, "Hey, I'm super sorry about this, but like, I don't think I could sit through the whole term." It's like, okay, no problem. Toski was the only person that was like, "Give me my money." I'm just like, "Oh, okay,
I
understandable."
know. Yeah, I know that feeling definitely. So you
Yeah.
gave his money back then, right?
Yeah, I gave his money back, and the person who I also gave money back was Arkister. He was waiting for his winners round 3, and he's been waiting for like 2 hours at this point for his winners round 3 because we were still like doing DQs and we were still saying like, okay, these 6 setups, we're going as fast as possible. And wave 2 started at this point because it's 4 o'clock now,
Oh,
so we had to split it up
shoot.
with 3 and 3 for 128 man brackets. Okay,
Oh my god.
so I do that. The only reason why we were able to retain a lot of people that wanted to play was because Amhip was there, being all like, "Don't worry, I could round up these people. I know everybody." And Kiraflax being there because he was like, "Hey, I know you. You're the Smash 4 pit main. Yeah, I'll help you out a little bit because like you tried talking to me one time."
Mm-hmm.
So
So,
Arkister comes up,
uh-huh.
waiting for his winners round 3. He says, "Give me my money back." I'm just like, "I am very sorry. Here's your money back. We will DQ you as soon as possible." The funny story is, by the time Arkister drives all the way back to his home in Hemet, which is, mind you, an hour and 30 minutes away, and after he got food with Cyro, which I believe lasted, an hour. So this is 2 hours and a half. He looks at his Smash.gg bracket and still sees the winners round 3 hasn't been played, and he thinks to himself in the mind. This is back then. He thinks to himself, "Man, I could really just drive back to UCR, give him my money back, and I would still be in the tournament."
Oh my
That's how
god.
bad it was ran.
So does Argus remember that?
Yes, Arcus remembers that.
Dude,
And to
that's oh my gosh, dude, no way. This is my first
and
time
to
hearing
this
this. I love
to
this.
this day, those friends, if my first impression to them, because they forgot about me, because everybody blocks this tournament out from their mind. They said if I brought up that I ran Highlander Con, they would actually not be friends with me to this day. Because it's like if my initial thing, like reintroducing myself, was hey, I'm the guy that ran Highlander Con, they'll be like, yeah, no. Anyways, going forth with Highlander Con, I'm going through these terms as fast as possible. We're barely gonna get kicked out.
Yeah.
We're starting we were starting top 8 at this point, and this is like 11:30 at this point. We got kicked out of this venue 30 minutes ago,
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
everybody is just like going as fast as possible. Mind you, I was also helping out clean up for the rest of Highlander Con, because I was also a staff back then.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a suggestion. I said, hey, let's go outside and play on the lunch tables, because cool college campuses has those outlets attached to the lunch tables.
I remember that.
And they're just like, okay, I guess. So we move 1 to 2 setups outside. Lumbre goes up to me and says, hey, I know I made top 8. Top 8 is payout, right? I said, yeah. Give me my money. I'm going home. It's like, okay, here's 8th place payout and stuff like that. So Scizor automatically gets like 5th. I forgot like the 2 other people on the loser side, but it was Ouija, Kiraflax, Scizor, I'm Hip, Lumbre, and 3 other people for top 8 that unfortunately I forgot.
I remember watching Cecil versus Ouija too. Behind, they were playing on lunch table. I remember that match, like right now. Like, I'm remembering it. That's crazy.
Yeah. And I think Quentin was being so hyped over. It's like, oh my gosh, dude, I haven't done this in so long, because this was very, very grassroots. And I didn't understand what I was doing was very nostalgic, because a lot of TOs went through this. It's kind of like if you see somebody falling into a pothole, you don't stand there and laugh. You're just like, I understand how you feel. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So grand finals, winners finals, losers finals was played outside. Somebody was recording it and saying, "This is Highlander Con, baby. This is what it comes to."
Mm-hmm.
After the tournament, I pay everybody out after, and everybody in top 8 made a really good amount of money, because I calculated wrong. Because I think like top 8, like 8th place at least made $50, and it just went up from there. I think I'm Hip made like $500+.
You're lying, bro. What? Of course he's happy, dude. Especially for that, he's like, "Oh yeah, say less. I'm here for this."
Yeah, but like again, if you really calculate it out, if you've been there for 12 plus hours, you better get a lot of money back. That's like
worth.
That's barely $15. That's barely minimum wage. Come on. But it's a cool flex.
Yeah, it's a cool flex. You say you were there, like in the moment, maybe you would have been like, "Oh my god, what am I doing here?" But afterwards, years later, you'll be like, I'm glad I was there for that, because that's a memorable story, regardless of how bad it was.
yeah, that was a very memorable story. Afterwards, this is the first time I actually encountered just like social media spaces. I eventually fell in love working with social media and just showing off the community, posting about things, being like an online comedic with my copy passes and shit posting and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But this is the first time I went on. Haven't used Facebook at all. The only time I used Facebook was to show off this tournament. I didn't really know. I didn't even post it in the IE Ultimate chat. I got invited to the IE group page. I'm just like, okay, that's pretty cool. I wonder what they said about my tournament. Everybody was dogging on me. All the people that couldn't make it out into top 8 were dogging on me. And back then, Mirrors was just like, dude, I don't understand why UCR and HLG is so bad. Like, they could have just contacted me and I do everything.
I remember that. I remember that post on that wall.
Yeah, the TO is incompetent, and as well as like the organization, as well as like other very prominent members that I don't think are with us anymore, unfortunately. But they have the right to be mad because they're veterans. And I just saw it and I was like, wow, I don't think I could ever go back to being a TO. This is way too bad of an experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was like in a state of like, oh shoot, I think I'm done with this. And then another saving grace to my Smash career, this is gonna sound kind of weird, is actually Iggy, who used to run Super Smash Thursdays at the esports arena back before COVID was a thing, when esports arena was still there and they were running weeklies. And he's my friend from Orange County. He saw me get my start in Melee, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and he went up to me and said, "Derek, you ran probably the best like tournament that you could ever possibly have run." And I said, "What do you mean?" I got a lot of people mad, a lot of people DQ'd, I got a lot of people waiting for too long, and he said, "No, no, no. You ran a 270 plus man tournament, which is more than even some regions in the US are able to even have. You were able to get everybody out there before it turned the next day. And most importantly, you finished the tournament. If you did not finish the tournament at all, like that would just be a stain. You're done. You're just like,
Mm-hmm.
you gave up, but
Yeah.
you did not give up with how much bad things came to you. I'm just like, really? And he said, here, let's give you a fresh start. I'm gonna be away for the next 2 weeks. Run Super Smash Thursdays and see how it is. So I ran Super Smash Thursday for a bit. I ran into some potholes talking about the venue with money and payouts and really asking, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? And after that, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to swallow my pride. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to be a tournament organizer, competitor. I'm going to be in the Smash community. If I give up now, then what's with all this struggle for? So now
Mm-hmm.
that's what Two Frame Tuesday and that's what Genkiaki is now. And that's
Oh,
where I am.
dang. That was a journey. I gotta admit, I was invested. I was invested within that whole thing. I was like, the character development is there. Plus, I was there for Highlander Con for that year, and that was the only time I made it out of pools and loser side because of my bracket. I was like, Wario solo, Wario, yes, loser side. I'm making it, even though Nitro and Caesar played winner round two. I don't care
Yeah.
about that. Doesn't matter. Don't care. I made it up. Losers. And everything was great. And I lost to Norby and losers. I remember that was Zelda. Really good Zelda back then. But man, dude, that was a trip. I'm still remembering all that. Like, I totally I forget about everything, but like you explain it, like I still remember when all that was happening, and then ending it. I remember. I think it was outside the subway. I think around that area at
Yep.
UCR. Like, and then so we played. We all sat down, and I think uh, I remember Naruto was there too because I remember turning around and he was like laughing and smiling the fact that we're doing this. I think Hip was popping up too, like, "Oh my god, I can't believe we're outside right now! Like, this is so great. This is so like." And then we're watching like Caesar and Ouija play right there, and I was like, "Damn, we really doing this out here. We really out here playing like out here in this Highlander Con tournament outside the venue, like because we're out already. Like, it was just wow the whole experience, but." I like how you ended it off saying that you ended up with Two Frame and Genkiaki and everything, and rest in peace Genkiaki. But something that was iconic from it was you say about your ship posting days with the Down Smash special. I'm sure everyone's heard of it in one way or another. Can
Yeah,
you
yeah.
explain like the backstory about that for those who may not know the IE meme of the Down Smash special?
So this is another proponent to me saying be the senior that you want to be, because I'm raised up to be very appreciative of the people that fell before me to make my path a lot easier so I could do whatever, so I could innovate, so I could really just grow, right?
Mm-hmm,
And the old UCR tournament that is extremely famous for S2J going, for Fiction going, for Firepuff 12 going, and things like that is Downtime Down Smash at the old comic book shop called Downtime Comics. Fun
mm-hmm.
fact: that shop also closed, so we have a 100% death ratio on the venue closing to then kill the tournament for UCR tournaments. Anyways,
That's a fun fact.
fun fact.
We have something to hold.
So the Down Smash special uh, was something that the owner of Genkiaki really wanted me to do because he's never met anybody that showed as much passion as I was for Smash and esports in general. I went in saying, "Hey, I want to run a tournament here." And he was playing all like "Oh, well, I don't think it'll be like safe for us to do. Like, what if we get DMCA'd? What if like Nintendo like sues us? We know how scary they are. What
Mhm.
if like the money isn't good? What if the people don't show up and stuff like that?" And I said, don't worry about it. I will give you 100% of the venue. I will not make no money. I just want to run tournaments. And for him, I think bringing up all those points was supposed to scare me onto giving him more percentage of the cut. And because it was so like I had my priorities on running the tournament more than money, because in my opinion, I was doing so many things in school. I was working, I was doing school, I wanted to run Smash, and I wanted to be, working for HLG and going into esports. I was
Mhm.
interviewing,
Mhm.
and I really didn't have time to worry about that because I had everything covered.
Mhm.
And he offered me, well, what we could do is you could make a dish and we could give you a portion of that money to buy equipment, to buy chairs, to buy anything that you need. And that's what I mainly used the profits from the Down Smash special was. It was to get as much money to pay for switch locks, to pay for chairs that kept getting broken by Spanky, as well as buying a table, actually,
That's crazy.
because like a bunch of their like tables there were very wobbly and like made out of wood. So I was like, okay, plastic tables, that's a lot of money. It's okay.
Mhm.
Um,
The
so
spanky comment.
he
Wait,
broke a chair. He
wait, was
broke a
that
chair.
was that true?
Yes, he broke a chair.
When was this? Smash Ultimate?
Yes, this is Smash Ultimate.
Oh
This is
my
like
god, I don't remember.
Genkiaki like 3 or 2 after Dank won. So it's like, yes, Dank won the very first 2 Frame Tuesday.
You're
Well,
lying. What? Steak won one? I never do this.
the whole time I've ran 2 Frame Tuesday, fun fact, not a single UCR player won. No Night Fox, no Tiny Toasters, no PEMDOS, no me even. Like, and I was so confident that I put my life on the line and saying if a UCR student wins 2 Frame Tuesday, I have to eat a death taco. If any UCR student who is in the Smash Ultimate like community goes 0-2, they have to eat a death taco.
Oh,
So that was the lines. But anyways, back to the
okay.
Down Smash
Yeah,
special.
yeah, yeah.
There were a lot of buzzing arounds because back then we were so saturated with tournaments such as Up Smash Thursdays.
Wait, yeah, Upstairs Thursday, Garage Up Till, Garage Up Smash, Are You Okay Mondays,
BY, no, Backyard Smash,
Backyard Smash was
as
like
well as
monthly, yes,
yeah,
yeah,
as well as MTM. There was
yeah.
Blue Hill Zone. Now there's
Uh,
2 Frame Tuesdays.
Backyard Beatdown, thanks as
Yep.
well. Yeah,
And then
yeah.
this was before Game Labs too, but there were still so many Smash tournaments that everybody was really fighting over for the same people, and the people couldn't really go out every single day. It was kind of like the vibe back then was if there isn't a Smash tournament within 10 miles from me, I am not going, which was kind of like weird, but okay.
Yeah.
And a person that brought up the point, this person worked at Thunder's Gaming for their Smash tournaments as a TO and as
Mhm.
a representative in the IE. You might remember him. You might know him. His tag is Humblebeast.
Oh yeah, Jeremy.
Okay,
Jeremy's a homie.
yeah, Humblebeast was playing around because I think he was also helping out Trinity, Smash Trinity back then because that was still a thing, and JV3 Esports actually starting to get
Footing.
their foot in the water. Shout out to JV3 Dan Listo, yeah,
Yes sir. Yes sir. JB3s all the way.
yeah, yeah,
Yes sir.
and he wanted to say, okay, we have so many tournaments in SoCal and IE. What makes your tournament special? And I posted hey, so have you heard there's the Down Smash special, the whole copy
Oh.
pasta. And the reason why it ends off with the, in my opinion, I think it gives individuality based on it gives individuality compared to the other college locals, is to really drive home the point, like, oh yeah, this is why my tournament is cool. But Humble Beast didn't care, and he just said, okay, cool. Like, it was like it was the most heartfelt thing that I put into a response that's just like, yeah, okay, like,
It, I,
tell me more.
was it the one that ends with just so it was rad. It's had, in my opinion, individuality that separated it out from the other college locals.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right. Oh my gosh, yeah.
that's why I ended off, and I felt like, so like, man, what the heck? Okay, I would just like not try anymore. And everybody was just like, oh hey, what's that tournament? And I'm just like, or like, what's that new Tuesday tournament? I want to like go snipe it because it's like full of free UCR students. Or like, what's like the Down Smash special? What, like, those two things were just like constantly being asked and thrown around the IE group page, and I would just get tagged all over from like PEMDOS,
Hmm.
from my friend Brightside at the time,
Yeah.
and a lot of really old Smash UCR Smash players that were in the IE group page but wasn't there, and they
Hmm.
would always tag me, and I was always so like tired of people not caring, of like, okay, cool, we don't care, we just want to know the place. That was just like, all right, I guess I won't care too. I'll copy and paste this one message everywhere, to every single comment, to every single post that asks anything about Two Frame Tuesday. And then eventually it was just like, dude, this is really annoying. Can you please stop? I remember somebody message like posting that, and I responded to him with the Down Smash special copy pasta. You know,
Oh
like,
my
here,
god.
I'm a menace to society now, and everybody just like like laugh reacted. I think I did that to like Jerry or something, somebody very like prominent in IE Smash Ultimate, that told me to stop, and I showed that I didn't stop, and everybody thought it was funny. So it was like, hey, let's just reply all to this,
Oh my
and then that's
god.
how the meme started.
And that.
It was over the course of like a month too, so of me
Wow.
explaining what the Down Smash special is.
And then that's where it came from, and it continued even into the end of Genkiaki, where I made the video, and it was like a it was like a freaking bow on top of a present, a cherry on top. I made the video. Shout
Fried tempura on top, actually.
and that's the end of the interview, y'all. We're having let's get I'm just playing. No, I'm just. I made the video. Shout out if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it on Sanford Release Entertainment. Um, I made the video with the intention of actually like doing it like a love letter to Genkiaki, because I didn't go to Genkiaki's often. I not as much as anybody else. I went a couple times, but that last time I went, I was like, it's the last time. I gotta go. It's probably the last time I'm ever gonna be able to do this. So I went, and it was around the time where I was starting to do a lot of videos and recordings. I did game lab smashes. So at that time, I was like, I want to record and maybe put this together. And then Yan saw me. He's like, "Hey Dan, you're gonna edit this together and do a video for us?" And I'm like, "I got you, bros. Don't worry about it." And then that's what the video came out to be. And I made all that. And then I asked Derek here, and I was like, "Hey, can you record yourself saying the whole copy pasta line so I could put it in the video?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got you." Sends it to me within minutes. And then it was like the perfect ending at the end of the video of Genkiaki, two frame at Genkiaki's. Two frame is still gonna happen at Chatuo, but two frame at Genkiaki's, and it just ends off with the meme of the Down Smash special and the audio clip. And a lot of people tell me like that was just like the perfect thing at the end. It was just like it was kind of like a Marvel movie with the post credit scene, and it had like the end part to it. And they're like, is that did they get Chickncup in the video? Like, is that his voice? And I was like, yes, that's actually him. He's actually the one saying it. The one who originated the whole thing is the one that says the actual copy pasta line. And it was just the perfect thing ever. I had retro pics reacted to him on the stream and everything. He's like, that's so cool and everything. I'm like, yeah, I know it is. It was just perfect. So that whole down smash special thing is just like iconic. And now it's like iconic, legendary IE meme within the history. It's gonna live on forever now, and everyone's gonna remember it. Even new people who were even part of going to tournaments before COVID knew about it now. Like, oh, yeah, Down Smash Special. You don't know what that is? Everyone knows what that is, and then that's what it is now. And it's amazing the fact that it lived and lasted this long, and it's still going to do that because people are still going to remember it for better or for worse. Overall, it was a good, slightly overpriced dish, but it was still pretty good. Uh, but
Exactly.
but the point is that you convinced them to get it with your coffee pasta, and that was amazing. Um, knowing that, I know that you also enjoy to do. Actually, you know what? I was gonna go to one topic, but I do want to keep on the same topic with the topic of sponsors because you were sponsored before, and I'm not sure if you're sponsors now, but I remember you were part of HyperX, if that was correct, and you used to promote their items and try to basically be a great sponsoree per se. Can you explain more about your experience being sponsored by HyperX during that time and what it meant?
So, as a student ambassador, I was very much there to help grow their community of gamers, especially in college. That, again, a lot of people in college, they say, oh, you'll make a bunch of friends. It's really hard if you don't really have that much in common, if you don't want to pay for frat or sorority life. And getting into clubs, there's already significant groups of people, so there's not a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to work in esports, and I asked my senior, Alan, at the time, I really want to be a brand ambassador because I like creating groups of people. I like, you know, making communities. I like making other people feel special, and I like making friends with everybody. That's why my end goal, kind of, in esports is to be in the community management and social media space, like what I
Mm-hmm.
was doing with HyperX.
Mm-hmm.
And what being with HyperX entailed was I was supposed to be there to get people to come into a community of, like, other HyperX gamers, other people that knew a lot about headsets, about
Mm-hmm.
keyboards. But at the end of the day, if you wanted to learn about keyboards or if you wanted to just play video games, I would be more than happy to talk to you just as a regular person and not a bot being all like, you have to buy this product, you have to buy this product.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
in Frank, I don't really like pushing products that I don't believe in. I
Mm-hmm.
personally say, oh yeah, I would recommend this mic for this thing. So, like the HyperX Quadcast, I recommend that for gaming. But in terms of recording, I would say get a boom mic. Get like a mic that studios use. If you like gaming headsets that are on the relatively more expensive side, that's more nice, you should get the alphas or like the alpha S's. But
Mm-hmm.
if you want really, really nice ones for editing music, you should get Sennheiser. Or if you really want other things like that, you should steer clear and look for these audio type of things. And I would actually show them, this is how you know what headset you're buying. Because a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
times people like to buy the brand just because it's the brand. And I was one
Yeah.
of the people there that was against that. And I said, okay, I don't want you to buy the brand because it's HyperX. I want you to buy the brand because it matches your head, it matches your sound, it matches your keyboard, it matches your aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I really much enjoyed from. So that's what me and HyperX was like.
Oh, definitely. It sounds like it was a very rewarding experience. And I remember you back then always promoting what they were and always trying to convince others to be like, you should get this headset from HyperX. And back then, I didn't really know you as well. So I remembered you as a HyperX person because I would always hear you promoting them consistently. And I'm like, damn, is he ever going to stop promoting that? Like, I'm not trying to get one. But that's besides the point. That was just the own perspective back then. That's not what it is now. But definitely, I know that was something that was so consistent back then, and it's also very interesting because of anybody who might be listening or watching this that are interested in getting sponsored. How important is it, or how easy is it, or how tough is it to get a sponsor like that to trust in you to promote their business or their brand? In your experience.
In my experience, it's very, very hard. So the other day, I'm going to connect this to what happened on Twitter. So there's a person on Twitter. His name is Jet. He's a NorCal tournament organizer as well as a caster.
Mhm.
And he made a big buzz on how, and even in his home region where Genesis was supposed to be taking place, his highlight reel that he sent in for commentary they didn't even watch through the whole 60 seconds of it. They only watched the first 20 seconds. And he got really mad when they denied him because they're like, you don't have the like audacity to look through my whole resume. You don't have the audacity. Like, he said it would have been fine if they watched through the whole thing, gave him some critiques, and said no. But they just said no straight out. He saw that it only lasted 20 seconds because, again, Twitch tracks like your watching history.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the exact same thing for esports and sponsors and things like that. For high priority sponsors, what you need to get these are high numbers. If you could get a lot of people to help support you, to help vouch for you, like the general public actually likes you and it's something that they think that could benefit them, they'll ask you to be an ambassador. They'll ask you to get sponsored and stuff like that. If you have the results as a player, it'll eventually fall into your lap, no matter, like, depending on how long it takes or how well your prospects are. But if you're trying to ask to get in, you have to tell them why you're good. So you have to tell them your numbers, your experience, what you can and can't do, and especially who you know. So it's all a connection game. I was able to get in from my senior, and that was able to help me basically show my application and show that I'm good, because it doesn't matter. I really hate to say this, and this is what I really want to change. Currently in esports, it doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how much effort you put in. It's who you know and what's on your resume if you don't know anybody, which is really, really hard. It's all a numbers game. But if you do know somebody, then that gives you the benefit to show them your resume, which isn't even a foot in the door yet.
It's
And
more like an
again,
opportunity, potential opportunity, basically.
yeah. And again, I really want to learn and show and highlight a lot of people, because it shouldn't be, oh, you get to just turn your resume and then we'll either say yes or no, and depending on people, we'll like look through it. I would rather want, okay, this is a very easy position, like on paper, but since a lot of people want this position, how badly do you want it? You have to put in 200% work to get accepted. For example, for an internship that I'm applying to now, they're requiring example posts, example graphics, example announcements. What happens if it's a player's birthday? What happens if an X, Y, and Z player gets into a scandal? What happens to this for this brand? What happens for this brand? And it's a lot of work, but I've noticed that if you make a bar higher in terms of work and effort, you're able to get a lot of people that actually care about the community and about the position more, you know?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. It seems to be a lot tailored to, like you said, more of who you know and what have you done so far rather than how good have you done it. You know what I'm saying? Typically, where that be different in other types of areas for for a job, it seems like it's really hard realistically to get your foot in the door unless you know someone already who can give you like a referral or something. Um,
I
yeah.
wouldn't say it's like impossible, but you just have to put in the work. In my opinion, it would be a lot less frustrating for people if they just had to put in the work like on a resume and show them, rather than put in the work as in spam apply to everything. Because in my opinion, just focusing on one thing and showing it really, really well and actually getting it seen is a lot better than putting in the work to, let's say, massively put in applications everywhere for potential spots and then waiting and see.
Mm-hmm.
Because like another one is like tangible to have. You've created example posts and you have that in your portfolio now that you could use later, you know?
Definitely, it's something that's utilized for any future opportunities to showcase what you've done, basically, and to prove your worth. More specifically, it sounds like it's the case, and it sounds tough. For myself listening to it for the first time, especially for wanting to get into a career into that. It seems like it's not just posting on Facebook, update something on Instagram. Nah, it's more like data analytics, certain situations, and what do you do in those situations for the players that you're representing on social media and such. From what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds tough. It sounds realistically tough, honestly. Not as easy as it is when you're just surfing Instagram on a daily basis or something.
Yeah, I think it's really hard, and it's something that I really like because you have to work around the clock. You have
Mhm.
to work. Okay, so what is this player doing at this time? Are you promoting your streamers? Are you giving the time and day to your community, especially, which is something that I am a big proponent in? And especially, a lot of people like to follow different teams for different reasons. I know a lot of smashers who follow TSM not because it's TSM, but because of Leffen and Tweak. They love those players, right? So you have
Mhm.
to give them the time and date, and to say, hey, check out this cool Leffen combo, check out this cool Tweak montage, and that's for the smashers. But then
Mhm.
the next hour, oh shoot, Valorant is there. That's our biggest number thing. Let's get some really cool shots from them. Let's get an interview from well, Myth is off the team now, but streamer Myth saying something kind of sussy that's really, funny, for more numbers. Let's show off our League of Legends team because NA League of Legends, that's super huge. And again, it's around the clock constant thing, which I personally really like. And the barrier to entry to that is unusually high. It's just like tournament organizing. Everybody wants to be a tournament organizer for Smash Bros at some point of their life, or a commentator. But the thing to really weed out commentators with casters,
Mhm.
or commentators and casters in Smash, is A, why you want to do it, and B, uh do you like, are you able to do it? So
Mhm.
for up and coming casters, I'm just going to say this. For me, I didn't get casting positions for a long time. It's because I couldn't cast any tournaments. I had to start out casting at, locals that only had 20 people watching max, not even at a time, but max on YouTube.
Mhm.
I also had to talk a lot about people, as well as for tournament organizing. I have to spend a lot of money even before my first tournament on posters, on graphics, on promotion, on when to post, on setups, chairs, tables, everything, like the whole 9 yards.
Mhm.
And if you really think about it, why would you want to do that? It's a lot cheaper to be a competitor, and you're able to show off your skill a lot faster if you're able to
Yep.
get upsets.
Yep.
That's why when people are like, "Oh yeah," like they like to dog on commentators and TOs. They call TOs frios, and they call like casters usually washed, because it's like, "Oh yeah, the reason why you do this is because you gave up on the game, you're bad," and stuff like that. And a lot of people like to fight that, but there's some truth to some casters becoming like that.
Yeah, it's like the next best thing. What's the next best thing if you can't compete? Well, then I can commentate the game since I play it. I played it well enough to understand it. Why not utilize that as a skill for casting? Definitely, I definitely understand that. It's kind of like branching your opportunities, and I feel like with the perspective of that, if you're not competing and doing something else, that means you suck at the game. Man, that means I guess that means I'm ass, even though I TO. I guess, I guess I'm bad then. Not, nah, man. Sometimes I have more enjoyment from TOing or commentating than I do competing. That's my own thing. Doesn't necessarily mean that I suck at it. It's more like I'm just better at this than this, or I prefer and I have more enjoyment, genuine enjoyment from it than I do competing. And to each their own. That's just really how it is. So that reality is something that people really have to accept and understand that you can do other things by competing. It might be harder in other aspects, but you can still make it in other areas, not just competing.
Exactly. Like,
Mhm.
for a lot of people wanting to get into the scene, again, I would say I had a pretty tragic, upcoming in the Smash scene with messing up a lot of things.
Mhm.
And I took that as a learning experience. And when you're a caster, you have to take the failures and criticisms of other people, even though they might be really negative and actually won't help you, it actually does help you in the long term, because it teaches you how to deal with the toxicity. If
Mhm.
I came out swinging in the gate, going up to mirrors and replying to everybody after my first Highlander Con, like, "You guys don't know what you're talking about. This is my first tournament. Just give me some slack. I hate you all." I would not be here. I took it as, hey, everybody says I'm bad. They're not elaborating on it, and I'm bad. Okay, I have a baseline to work with. My goal is to make sure that everybody thinks I'm good, or I actually am good and running these things.
Taking it with a
So
grain of salt, basically.
yeah, you have to take the salt and you have to take the L's and turn it into a W.
I like
Take
that.
two
That was
L's to
good.
make a W.
That was good. I was like, I saw you like putting that together in your mind right there. Like, oh, he's gonna say something right now. You're like W. I think you say like L's for learning or something like that. Like, that's usually what I say. Like, I love it. That was good. So moving on from the TOing and moving on from the sponsorship, something that you're also avid in and you enjoy a lot is streaming on your own personal time, be it with Smash or be it with other things. How did you get your start into streaming, and do you personally enjoy it because you do it for fun, or are you looking at it with like an end goal for something?
I personally did it in the beginning to really watch my sets and to actually really learn. As a competitor, as a bad competitor actually, I actually never was on stream to actually sit down and watch my VODs.
Hmm.
And I didn't have any friends to say, "Oh yeah, let me just set up this camera, let me just set this up so I could go back and watch all of these." So the goal for my streams back then, I streamed exclusively Melee,
Hmm.
and it was for me to learn how to get good and to actually practice the things because I used to be on Team Dignitas, and and streaming would also be there for me to take clips that I needed to show what I was talking about when writing my guides for Team Dignitas.
Oh wait, you're a part of Dignitas, the one that Hugs is also a part of too, or
Yeah, once upon a time I was a part of Team Dignitas and I left
what?
because I didn't feel I didn't feel appreciative, and again, it's like it's what happens if you go into a place that you think, "Oh, this is the greatest thing ever," and you're only staying there just because of the name. It might not really be the right place for you. I'm still trying to find a place to work, and in esports, even though I do have a full-time job already,
Hmm.
it's still something that if you can't vibe with the people around you, then you can't do it. So that's mainly what interviews for. After the first interview with HR, like, oh yeah, like I do this, I do that, I look like a great guy, right? And
Hmm.
HR is like, okay, here's like the actual people interviewing you. That's like, it doesn't matter how professional or like how weird you act. If they vibe with you, then they'll hire you because if you literally mesh well with their team just because of your personality and life goals, then everything will get done. If you
Yeah.
put somebody on that has a super huge resume that's really good into a team that's kind of just like, oh yeah, we get everything done at the end of the day, but we do it super well with like a lot of, fun, it's not going to work out.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that. So it seems like something that you use to improve upon yourself that you want to take into another kind of experience for you to go into your esports career. That's actually a really good point right there, right? Uh, knowing that, that's actually really good for someone to take towards their own career. Because for myself, I actually enjoy streaming too. Knowing that and moving on to, past that, you had your experience with UCR and you had your Smash career typically start with UCR. Now at current UCR is kind of different. Obviously, you're not in Riverside anymore. What's your relationship with the current UCR people? You know who I'm talking about,
Yeah,
and your
yeah.
relationship with them and yourself. And I see that as an example of being your own senior. It seems like to me, correct me if I'm wrong, it's kind of like you're senior to them. You guide them a lot in terms of what they want to do. Can you kind of elaborate more on the relationship? Maybe do some shout outs if you want to.
So I'm a very big proponent of be the senior that you want to be, that you've always wanted, right?
Hmm.
And again, I've only had one senior that I'm basing this off of, Alan Wang. Shout out to you again.
Hmm.
Um, I wanted to kind of show them how to really not die trying to become an adult. A lot of people make mistakes in college, such as, oh, I want to go into this major and then go into masters and then do all this. And then they keep that mindset and then figure out way too late when once they actually grow up a lot like, oh shoot, I don't want to do this. And a lot of people grow up at different times, at different rates. Even though, like, 21, you're supposed to be like an adult, Like we're all still kids still,
Mhm.
you know, deep inside, even a little bit. We're not fully mature. We don't know everything yet.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I really wanted to show the UCR people. So I wanted to show them not only how to get good in Smash, how to analyze Smash, how to like run tournaments, how to actually think about the game, but I also wanted to teach them how to look at themselves, how to distinguish friends from not friends, how to develop their own morality, and actually just, you know, how to have fun. A lot of the times, for the reason why we go into gaming is because we don't fit in anywhere else. All we did all day was play games, and there weren't a lot of people that fit in the right mindset. For
Mhm.
example, at college and stuff, I was looking for friends to hang out with, and I was like, "Oh yeah, dude, I'm a nerd. I play League of Legends." "Oh my gosh, you play League of Legends? I play League of Legends too." I'm just like, "Oh shit." Yeah, did you watch LCK or LCS? Did you watch Faker like do this crazy thing? Did you do this? And then they'll be like, "Oh, sorry, I one trick Soraka support and I'm still an Iron. You're a nerd." I'm just like, "Oh, okay, understandable." But like here at UCR, we're able to find a lot of like-minded people, and really want to teach them and like show them, hey, this is how, you know, you do things correctly. Like, shout out to Night Fox, but I restrict Night Fox from saying or doing a lot of strange things because I know that he always has good intentions, but
Mhm.
again, some things step on a landmine, so I'll be there to help him out always. For Tiny Toasters, shout out to him also. Uh, I'm not gonna get into it, but relationship advice, we got you on that because not a lot of people in like the nerdy side of things really know how to talk about their feelings because we all suppress our feelings
Mhm.
usually they're like doing shit,
Mhm.
and you know how to think about the game, how to get good at the game, and really how to get to the next level. Yeah, and of course, I'm teaching him again how to be a good host, how to be a better person at hosting, and just, you know, being in the community because he wants to take on a lot. But again, a lot of young people, such as myself back then, had a dream, but then they come to to the reality that this dream is almost impossible slash really hard. Do I
Mhm.
want to put effort into continue doing this? And I hate it whenever somebody says, yes, it's too hard, I'm going to change it. Whereas for me, I'm like, it's hard, but all you need is a support system to help you out, to help guide you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing with RetroPix and Empty also. RetroPix being one of the newer people and, you know, one of the up and coming young rock stars at the UCR community, beating Nitro, beating a lot of really good people. But again, I'm trying to help teach them about mentality, how to look at life, and just, you know, everything's good. You can't beat yourself up and win every single day. You have to take your L's sometimes with great strides.
Mhm.
And then Abyssal, he's really cool, but you know, I I could kind of relate to him on a personal level. I like to hide a lot of my things too.
Yeah.
So I'm also helping him out with kind of wingmanning
Mhm.
for his girl, making the drive from UCI, delivering her to UCR, and then it's like,
Oh.
hey, that's cool as fuck.
Hey man, perfect wingman, and
Yeah, best
yeah,
wingman in the IE, trust.
yeah, yeah. We will not elaborate on that. We'll keep it as is. Best wingman in the IE. We'll say that. You'll take that title
Yeah,
right there. Unless somebody else
yeah,
wants to say something, shout him out on Twitter. Go ahead.
yeah, tune into my streams.
Yeah, yeah. If you
Tune
want to
into
know
my
more
streams.
about that, tune to the streams. Twitch.tv/Chickncup. You already know. So, one of the last things right here, as we're ending towards the end part of the of this interview here is what is like what's your fondest IE memory you had overall?
Ooh, my
Fondest.
fondest IE memory. I would say I would honestly say either the actually, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. The MTM house party on Halloween was probably my fondest memory, and
Man. Hmm.
it's kind of weird because not everybody was there. There was a bunch of older Smash players like Nitro was there, Scissor was there, Ketchup was definitely there, Spanky was there,
Yeah.
even Shuckle was there. That's where a lot of the drama started with Shuckle and the IE actually. back then.
Yep,
So
that's a whole different thing.
yeah, that's a whole different thing. You could talk to Dan on his stream actually about it too if you want to hear more stories. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
you have the gist of it. You have the
yeah,
gist of it. But
yeah, okay,
that
okay.
was my first time really going out to a party and just seeing all these groups of smashers that really, haven't done anything in a long time. This was before COVID, by the way. This was 2019, and we're a bunch of nerdy smashers. Not a lot of people invite us out to parties sometimes, depending on our background. And Smash is really the only thing that we get to outside of work interacting with people. And this is the very first time just seeing everybody becoming friends, being with the family, and
Mhm.
it was really, really cool. It gave the same vibes of everybody being together at a major under
Mhm.
one banner cheering for somebody type of
Mhm.
vibes.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. I did. That was before I got more comfortable with the IE community, so I did not go to that. But I did go to the MTM tournaments like once or twice, I believe. So those are definitely fun. Let's see. And looking back at it, honestly, the MTM tournament was actually the start of a lot of things for a lot of people when I look back at it. But knowing how we were back then, um, what are what is like your general advice for what we're going through right now? You know, with the COVID, with the Rona, the stuff. A lot, we're all getting affected by it one way or another, and we're all toughing through this, and we're all here for each other. But what is advice you can say, your best advice for people who may be struggling going through this in terms of it?
Most people that I've seen that are struggling to go with it is actually to keep their passion for competing in Smash.
Hmm.
You don't have to play every day to compete in Smash. I know a lot of people actually that have quit Smash right now because the only time that they were able to practice and play every single day consistently is actually just spamming tournaments, going to a tournament every single day, playing friendlies after the tournament, and it felt really good. But
Hmm.
you have to adapt and overcome a lot of different things. And even though Wi-Fi is really bad, you don't have to play Wi-Fi to get good. You just have to watch other people play and just see what they do. A lot of the times, people don't realize what they're watching is actually making themselves better. For example, watching a random pools match of your main playing against somebody else, you sit down there, like for example, I'll watch a pit main and I'll be all like, "Man, this pit main isn't good. What he's not doing and what he's doing right now is that's losing is he's not approaching well enough. He's staying back, and every single time he does go in, he spams the same option like nair cross up tilt and stuff like that. And I don't think
Hmm.
that's good. And then that gets me an idea. It's like, oh, okay. So I just analyze that this other person that plays this character didn't do a good job in this scenario.
Hmm.
I should avoid this scenario for
Hmm.
the future if this happens in this specific matchup or if something similar happens.
Hmm.
And just sitting down and watching and thinking that type of stuff is really, really important to bettering your mental, A, and B, bettering yourself as a player because it's not all just about pushing buttons at the right times. It's like a lot of it has to do it, but why are you pushing those buttons at the right time? I
Hmm.
know a lot of really high level Smash players have a flowchart of, oh, I will full hop neutral air into a move. And when somebody figures out how to counter against that, it is your time to think, okay, how could I adjust it even slightly to beat it out? For example, instead of full hopping, you could short hop. Instead of putting out an aerial, you tomahawk, or vice versa, and a lot of different things. And again,
Hmm.
keeping that passion by watching the game that you love is something super important in during the times of COVID.
I definitely agree with that, especially during these times. It's a lot different, but we're definitely gonna get through it. And look, we got back to it for a little bit during last year, especially when the locals and everything. But now that Almerion, Olimar is here now, it's it's going back to a little bit how it was early 2020, but it's a little bit more lenient in terms of how it was early on, just because we know more about it now. Like locals are still kind of still happening, so people still go out. But going past that now, and with the great advice, what's one word you would use if you had to describe the IE, the Inland Empire community as a whole, in your whole experience?
Based.
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 Care to explain with a short paragraph?
Base is just anything that you say that you very much believe in. A lot of the times when talking to other regions, their in-person things are like, "Oh, you played really well. You just have to like do this and that and stuff like that." And then online they go on just like, "You're garbage. How could you ever do that? Like I'm so much better. I'm actually the best like XYZ
Yeah.
in all of SoCal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Why aren't I on the banner?" And then they go to major and go like 1-2 and they're just like, "Dude, I just got bad matchups and things like that." For the IE, we do the same thing with like, "Man, you're so bad," and stuff like that, like online and stuff like that, jokingly. But we also say in person, just like, "Dude, Topeg, you're so bad, dude. Come on, what do you mean?" And then he just turns to us like some Hulk Hogan type dude is like, "You know what? I'm going to make a Twitter post and I'm going to make you cry when you read it." Shout out to Topeg also, dude.
Oh,
I love that dude.
that's hilarious. I love Tope, dude. Tope's a new person to the scene in terms of Smash Ultimate after COVID. Oh my god, his Twitter is something else. Just look at your own discretion. But he's definitely a unique person that I feel like is great to have in this community. So the last part of this interview I like to do is called Frame One Question. Before we get to that, one last thing I want to ask you, because I feel like you would have a great perspective on this, a good answer, is what's something that you wish you saw more in the community do?
Again, I would really like to have that be the senior that you've always wanted. So we've got a lot of up and coming young smashers, and I'm still doing this to this day with teaching people how to, be a better person, teaching people more about the scene, talking to
Mhm.
a lot of quiet people, interacting with them, like being their friends in the scene. One of the newest people that I've added to the group of people that I want to hang out with and just be a cool person, be a cool senior around is Ignace, who made it on number 2 on the IEPR. Even
Mhm.
before this, one of his first tournaments that he's been to for a while because he can't drive was actually one of the first RTFs.
I remember that. Yeah.
And during one of the first RTFs, I think he went game 5 with Cyro and game 3 with Razo or something super crazy like that, and he
Mhm.
and he got out of the tournament. And everybody was just like, "Oh yeah, it's a Marth player, it's whatever." But I personally saw more in Ignace, and I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh hey, cool. Tell me about everything. Like we could chill and stuff." And he said, "Oh, I'm going to UCI," and I was telling him, "Okay, here's what you do at UCI. Go over, get on PR, get the scholarships. Be careful about Dom. Be careful about all these other top players. In my opinion, I think you could be the second or first best person, even over Dom, because I thought that he wouldn't be on there because he was supposed to graduate, but he's in masters,
Oh yeah.
and nobody really taught him or told him about a lot of things that you could do in college in high school because not a lot of older people like to talk to younger people and like telling them how to do things in life or guiding them through life because again in the smash community and just in society in general it's kind of like, oh yeah, no, don't talk to any of these people, but it's like you're just making it weird because you're assuming that the older person is going to do a bad thing. You just have to be a senior, you have to be a parent, you have to be an older brother. It's like that's
Mhm.
that's the thing. If we
Mhm.
lose the big little relationship like they do at college fraternities and clubs, then no information will get passed down and we're doomed to repeat ourselves. There's going to
Mhm.
be a Chicken Cup 2 that runs a 200 something plus man local, and it's going to be horrendous because nobody told him anything, you know?
And but
I
and that,
I stepped in glass for somebody else to run by me so they don't do the same thing.
man, that's a good. See, and I knew you had a good answer for that because I feel like you have a good perspective, and I definitely agree with that. Shouts to Ignace, by the way. Cracked Marth, and definitely an upcoming player to contend for the best. Honestly, in my opinion, that he's so good, and I can't wait to see him compete more. And we talked too when I see him. He actually recognized me too, and even though I was older than him and I've been in the scene much more, and even me, I was like, oh my gosh, he knows me. Like, oh, like, I'm the banjo. He knows. Oh my gosh, like, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm doing tournaments and stuff. And these podcasts, of course, anybody might know me, or most likely know me. So I still find that kind of weird for me. I'm like, oh shoot, they know Listo. I never met you, but that's cool. Like, hi. So before we get to frame one questions, thank you again, Chickncup, for being a part of this. I do appreciate your time. It was great having you on, and especially I was supposed to have you on a year ago for season 2, but this is season 3 now. We're on the third year of it.
Oh, let's go season 3,
Yeah, and
baby.
you're
In the
and you're
clips.
and you're gonna be the bona fide episode 2 of season 3, and it'll be really hype. Can't wait for this episode to release for everybody to watch it, because I know you're such a great person and people deserve to know what you've done and who you are in this community. Regardless if you're not in the IE anymore, you're still IE to us. So thank you so much for your time. I do appreciate it. So
Thank you.
we're gonna go to frame one questions. Put it simply, frame one questions. These questions I'm gonna ask you, which are 10, are typically like 1 to 2 answers questions, really simple, and they're intended for you to think on the spot and see how fast you can get through these questions. See what the first thing that comes to your mind is, and it's kind of like hot ones, but with a time limit, no hot wings,
All right,
basically.
all right.
So
It's gonna be hard, but okay, I'll do my
so,
best.
yeah, just first thing that pops in your mind when you hear the question. I usually like to put a timer, but I really found out it's more like it's a lot to handle right there, and I was like, you know what, I could time it like post and post edit. So, anyways, um, these questions are either relating to yourself or to Smash Ultimate or Smash 4 or to your main character, which in this case would be Pit, because you made Pit.
Yep.
So timer starts when I ask the first question. That's just for me for post edit when I need to edit it. So these questions are going to start right now. What is the best color of your main?
Blue.
What's the best IE local of all time?
Two Frame Tuesday.
Best post local eatery?
Sesame Grill.
Most hype IE member to watch on stream?
Best Hamster.
Favorite game to stream?
Super Smash Brothers for the Nintendo Ultimate.
Word. What's one word to describe Smash?
Based.
Buff or nerf your character?
Buff.
Who did you hate versing in bracket the most?
Ghost.
Favorite esports team?
Cloud9.
Smash 4 or Smash Ultimate?
Ultimate.
Boom!
Right.
Nice.
All right.
Dude, nice. That was fun. I gotta admit, those are really good ones. You said Sesame Grill. I'm just curious about that. What is Sesame Grill? I never heard of that.
Ooh, Sesame Grill. So this is gonna sound very controversial. There's only one Sesame Grill in the whole world, and this one Sesame Grill is in Arcadia. This is very close to literally no tournaments besides Land Hero. And the reason why I say Sesame Grill is because a lot of people are saying, oh yeah, dude, Dave's Hot Chicken is better than Cane's, or no, Cane's is always supreme. Based on this small local restaurant who not only has very good fried chicken, they also have an assortment of different types of chicken, like chicken cutlet curry, and grilled chicken, fried chicken, in case if you want to be unhealthy, and having a lot of traditional Asian sauces because it's in a traditional Asian area. It tastes very, very good. And because they present it similarly to Raising Cane's and Dave's Hot Chicken, I would say it's better actually than both of them, which is a very hot take. And everybody's going to be like, what are you doing? Why'd you betray us? I will personally one day have a Smash Fest at Empty's house. I'm inviting everybody over to Empty's house to play some video games, and then we're going to Sesame Grill. And I like to meme on it by saying, dude, it says me grill.
It says me grill. Oh wow, that sounds good. I gotta get there someday too. So to top off this episode, and I did not think of this last minute, of course. Can you recite the full prompt of the Down Smash special for me just for this episode. Just full on beginning to end, the full prompt, no shortcuts to end off this episode of yours. Okay.
So there's a specialty bowl at a restaurant tournament called the Down Smash Special. This has it's just a rice based bowl with nacho cheese, with tater tots, with marinated beef, chicken, and a fried tempura shrimp, drenched in teriyaki sauce, garnished with green onions, with a fried tempura shrimp. All about $10, and it comes with a free drink. In my opinion, this is what separates this is what separates it out from the other college locals, and I think it's pretty rad. I switched it up a bit, but I had it all there.
Yo, that was sick. I legit was gonna offer to, like, hey, you could bring it up if you want to, you can recite it, but you went from memory, and that's why I was like, oh shoot, he remembers this. I respect you, sir, for that. That was amazing. Hats off to you. I'm acting like this is like hot ones right now, acting like you went to the gauntlet, but in reality, we just talked this whole time. It was great. Before we leave, what is your socials? Where can people find you to support you?
You could mainly support me on my Twitch, so twitch.tv/Chickncup, and my Twitter, so twitter.com/Chickncup. By the way, if you guys have a Twitch Prime, did you know that every single day that you don't use your Twitch Prime, it's like you lose 15 cents a day? So make sure to subscribe and use it on your favorite Twitch streamer.
Exactly, on your favorite Twitch streamer. And like you said, and like my good friend Eggies tells me, to subscribe or follow, it's free. Why not? If you don't do it, you're a bad person. Just gotta click it and just follow. That's it. It's like 2 seconds of your time. That's all you gotta do. Anyways, thank you again, Chickncup, for being on this episode. I do appreciate your time. Like I said before, you were amazing. I love talking to you, and you're a great community member, and I always appreciate all the support you've given me and to this community and to everybody else whom you supported, especially. I really respect that. So thank you so much, Chickncup.
All right, thank you for having me on.
I appreciate it. And everybody here who's watching right now, make sure you go support the other In the Lab episodes. We do have season 1s and season 2. Season 2 doesn't have too many episodes because I kind of dropped the ball last year, but that's besides the point. Anyways, we have a lot of In the Lab content you can check out. Also, make sure you subscribe to Simple Listo Entertainment's YouTube channel, where you can find In the Lab episodes for season 3 and the other seasons, as well as the VODs for Run That Fade and It's Time to Duel, as well as other retrospectives for different events. And make sure you guys look out for the next episode of In the Lab episode, where we're definitely going to have a great time having other people there. And I can't wait for you guys to see the rest of season 3. Just know that it's going to be hype, and the people who I bring after this are definitely going to be just as amazing. You guys stay safe, take care of yourself, and take care of your loved ones. Do your part. Peace, love, positivity. You guys have a great rest of your day. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.